So we're going to factor quadratics, okay, whenever our a value is not 1. Okay, we're going to use the swing method. In other words, we have ax squared plus bx plus c. All right, so this value right here is not 1. Okay, so first and foremost, you're always going to factor out the greatest common factor between all three terms, if there is one. Okay, if there's not, then you'll completely skip that step. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Okay, I see that a is 2, b is 3, and c is -9. Okay, they don't have any other common factor other than 1, so this would be a case where I would skip step 1. All right, and then we move on to step 2, which says swing a and multiply it by c. All right, so I'm actually going to swing it over and write this x squared plus 3x and then minus 18. Okay, all right, so you actually do multiply it out. All right, and then we're going to find two numbers that multiply to get this number and add to get this number. So I usually like to make a little chart. Okay, so two numbers that multiply to get -18 and add to get 3. All right, well, I know that it's probably going to have to be 6 times -3 because 6 times -3 multiplies to get -18 and adds to get +3. All right, so I'm actually going to write those factors out. So x plus 6 times x minus 3. Okay, now remember, when you swing forward, then you have to swing back, right? If you're on a swing, you cannot just swing forward and stay in the air. So we swung this 2 forward. Okay, now we need to swing it back, and we do that by dividing the constants by that number. All right, so we're going to divide both by 2. If the fraction reduces, okay, so this one it does, right? It reduces to an integer of 3. Then you do that. So x plus 3. All right? If it does not, then you swing the denominator forward in front of the x. So we have 2x minus 3. Okay, so then here we are, completely factored. All right? Okay, we can do number 2. Okay, I see there's no common factor, so we're going to swing the 5 forward. So we have x squared plus 19x plus 60. Okay, and I need to find two numbers that multiply to get 60 and add to get +19. And I see they're both positive, so I think 15 times 4 will work, and then 15 plus 4. All right, write out our preliminary factors. So we have x plus 15 times x plus 4. Okay, but remember, we swung that 5 forward, so now we need to swing it back. So we divide both terms by the a value. Divides out evenly, great. If it does not, we swing it back. So we have 5x plus 4. Okay. All right, for the next problem, okay, I see that there is a greatest common factor between each one of these, right? We can factor out the 3. So we're going to start there, all right? And then we have 5x squared minus 9x minus 2. All right, now, guys, when I use the swing method, I'm using this new trinomial. I'm literally going to ignore this 3 until the very end. Okay, so this is my new a value. So I'm going to swing that forward. So we have x squared minus 9x minus 10. Okay, find two numbers that multiply to get -10 and add to get -9. Well, I know it's got to be some combo of 10 and 1, right? So let's see, the 10 would have to be negative and the 1 positive. All right, so we write x minus 10 times x plus 1. Okay, and again, I swung forward the 5, right? So I need to divide out the 5. Okay, so I'm going to, again, leave this 3 here, and then I have x minus 2. I need to erase this. Times 5x plus 1. Final answer. Okay, and then number 4, all right, same thing. These don't have a common factor, so skip to step 2. Swing the 5 forward. So we have x squared minus 18x plus 45. Okay, I need to find two numbers that multiply to get 45 and add to get negative 18. So I know it's going to be a combo of 15 and 3, but they're both going to have to be negative, right? Negative times negative gives you a positive. Negative plus a negative gives you more negative. So we have x minus 15 times x minus 3. Okay, divide both by 5. And then we have x minus 3 times, swing this forward, 5x minus 3. Done.